What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I'm your host, Corey Willis. Hope everyone out there is doing well on a Sunday evening. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend of watching college football out there. So, yeah, guys, overall, I hope you all are doing well on a Sunday evening. As always, guys, we appreciate you all listening to the show, of course. You know where to find us, guys. We're on multiple of your favorite applications out there. If you want to follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at BD Sportscast, you can find all of our content there. If you want to listen to our past and present episodes of the show, you know to find us. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, Amazon Music, you name it, we are on there. And also, we appreciate you guys listening to our live simulcast here on our official YouTube channel, and also on our official Twitch channel at Breakdown Video Game Cast, where Chris and I are playing some video games from time to time. So, as always, guys, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It definitely helps us out as we're trying to grow to that milestone of 100 subscribers, guys. We appreciate you all that have chimed with us for the first time, that have joined our community. Of course, we want to build a really strong community of college football fans out there that love the sport. So, yeah, if we can get to 100 subscribers, guys, that would definitely put your name in for a raffle, courtesy of Chris and I. And what we'll do, we'll put your name in for that raffle to hopefully pick out a winner, and that winner will then receive some free swag of their official school or their choosing that they love, as a courtesy from Chris and I. So, yeah, guys, as always, we appreciate you guys' support. Let your friends know about us. And yeah, let's keep the good times rolling here on the Breakdown Sportscast. As always, guys, you know who I'm with. I'm with my good friend and co-host. He is Chris Bolton. Chris, what's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? Doing all right, Corey. Just Sunday, so we've been watching a little NFL football. So it's been a good Sunday, and we're a day closer to some turkey, some yams, mashed potatoes, dressing, cornbread. Uh, you know,
You
black eyed
name it.
peas, greens, all that. Yeah, man. So hey, it's there's no complaints over here on my end. Hey, we another day closer to the big feast.
Exactly. So yeah, man, I can't wait for Thanksgiving. One of my favorite holidays, of course. Not naming Christmas. So yeah. I hope everyone out there is getting ready, to eat some good turkey or ham or whatever you eat on Thanksgiving. I know some people, still eat chicken on Thanksgiving. So hey, to each their own. But
hmm Hope you just enjoy that time with your people.
exactly. I definitely agree with you, partner. So yeah, man. Week 13 is in the books, folks. It's an interesting weekend, Chris. It wasn't, and we said it on our prediction show. This wasn't like a star-studded week of games, of course, but there were definitely some interesting ball games, with some defining moments, for the playoff, for this season, that definitely helped take a turn of this season. So, yeah, man, it was great overall, and yeah, are you all ready to delve into some of these games this week?
Yes, sir.
All right. So week 13 is in the books. We'll go ahead and kick things off, Chris, with this game. USC had to travel to the Austin Zoo on Saturday to take on the Oregon Ducks. 42-27 was your final in this one. Oregon found a way, Chris, to beat the Trojans. And this was a scary team. Me and you had talked about it on our prediction show about USC having the opportunity to go into Oregon and beat the Ducks in their home turf. We already saw that against Indiana because we had saw it again. Oregon said no, and not this time. And now we're looking at an Oregon Ducks team now, Chris, that has pretty much solidified their playoff hopes, and going into December. And that's good for Ducks fans out there that were hoping to be right where they need to be at, and now they've really done the work in getting a playoff spot and securing that spot. So, what were your thoughts about this game overall on Saturday?
Yeah, I think Oregon, they did what needed to be done. This the Ducks played well. Dante Moore threw the ball well. Uh, the rushing attack, they ran for over 100 yards, 150 bones. So when you Oregon, a team that does pride itself on running the football, when you're bringing that physicality to the table, you're challenging USC, a team that's been questioned about its physicality. Can they handle the line of scrimmage? Oregon brought it to USC, and ultimately, Oregon did enough to not only win, but to win by double digits. And this was a good win for the Ducks because their resume is a little lacking, Corey. So it was good for them to get a win against a top 20 opponent, a conference foe, and to not just win, but to do so by more than more than one score. You know what I'm saying? It was a double digit point victory. So big win for the Ducks, as they continue to try to peak at this time of the year.
Agreed, Chris. Yeah, yeah. This game it went back and forth for a little while, but Oregon found a way to keep ahead of USC. I thought going into the fourth quarter, I thought that was the opportunity after USC had scored that last touchdown heading into the fourth, that
Mm-hmm.
this game was really going to be a toss up at that point. I was kind of scared for Oregon in that regards, but they found a way um, to pretty much run off with the victory at the end, and try to find that way to separate themselves. And that really did help me, and I'm sure it helped a couple of other people out in the national media as well, Chris. In looking at this Oregon team, that, let's be honest, we all haven't really talked about them that much up until now, like later in this season. Um, Ever since losing to Indiana, it felt like they were just kind of coasting. They were under the radar, and this Oregon, we usually are always talking about Oregon, but um, I think we found a lot about this team after one beating Iowa. That was a hard game. I remember you saying that multiple times as we had got ready for that game, Chris, on how difficult it was going to be for Oregon to find a way to win, and they won. They beat Iowa. And in this game, this is a game that definitely um, we could be talk about USC beating Oregon had things went off the wall. So overall, they found a way to win, and I think we're learning about this team overall late in the season, and we're seeing how resilient they are. And I think that's what matters, and I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see play out as we head towards the playoffs coming up in December.
Yeah, I agree, Corey. I mean, it's a team that I feel like that can match styles. They're a
Hmm.
little bit of a chameleon. If you want to have a high pace, up and down game, Oregon can get in the shootout with you. If you want to grind it out and slow things down and play a tough physical game, Dan Lanning's down for that too. So it will be curious to see how things play out as the season continues because they do match up pretty much with anyone out there.
Yeah, they do. I think overall, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Oregon, especially late in the season. I like Dante Moore. I think he's a really good quarterback. Is he? exactly where he needs to be at in terms of NFL scouts and what they're looking for. No, not yet. I would say Dante needs another year, of course, to kind of flesh all that out. But there's no make no mistake about it. I think he brings something to the table for this Oregon football team that can still make them dangerous. And the defense plays very good football when they need to as well. So we'll see what happens with Oregon. But I was pleased with what I saw on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. So yeah, that was that game. Of course, we will head to our second premier game. On this game, they had a lot of stakes to it in the ACC. Chris, Pitt had to travel to Georgia Tech on Saturday, and would you look at that, Chris? The final 42-28, Pitt stuns Georgia Tech in Atlanta. And you got a lot of people talking about, hey, is the ACC in trouble?
Mhm.
Does Pitt have some kind of an outside chance of being like a 3-loss team? Heading into the playoffs. I would go off by saying, hey, I it wouldn't stun me to see that actually happen. I've been on an occasion that if there's going to be a scenario of a potential 3-loss team making it into the college football playoff, let Pitt go. Yeah, you got housed against Notre Dame, but if you win the ACC conference, hey, I gotta give you props. If I was in that room with the committee, I would say let Pitt go in. Still some work to be done, but that was an impressive victory against Georgia Tech, a team that's for the most part, Chris, they've been riding high, and to beat them at their home turf, I'd say that's a really good win. That's a good bounce back win after getting embarrassed against Notre Dame at your home turf. So, what were your thoughts overall, Chris, about this crazy game on Saturday?
Yeah. No, it's a big win for Pitt. You know, is it a little surprising? I would say so, but watching Georgia Tech this season, as soon as you feel like you know what you got with Tech, they slip up, and you see Tech lose a game that you don't expect them to lose, and you didn't necessarily have this drawn up that Tech was going to lose this one. They're at home. You feel pretty good about what Tech is doing. They're in prime position to win the league. You think but it was actually a sneaky spot because it's right before clean old fashioned hate. So it was right before the Georgia game, and then Pitt was fresh off getting their tails busted and had something to prove. So I think it was like the perfect storm, Corey. All the ingredients came together for Pitt to come into Atlanta and get a big win. And they did so in Georgia Tech fashion, Corey. They ran this ball up and down Georgia Tech's throat. Over 200 yards on the ground. Turner had 201 yards, I believe, for Pitt, for the Panthers. So anytime you can have your running back rush for over 200 yards in a road conference game, that's a recipe to win. You're not you're not losing too many games when you do that. And that's what I think this game boils down to is Pitt won the battle of the trenches. This thing they beat Georgia Tech at its own game, and so big ups to the Panthers for rising to the occasion and proving and showing who they are. They prove that they are a good team with this win, just based off the sole fact that they hadn't mailed it in the season after that beatdown. They said, "No, we're gonna show who we really are. We're gonna take this out on somebody, and that somebody happened to be Georgia Tech." So credit to the Panthers on their performance.
Agreed, Chris. Yeah, it was a great performance by the Panthers over the weekend. And yeah, man, Turner did get 201 yards and a touchdown. And now he had 21 carries. I mean, that's how you do it. That's how you have a great rushing day as a running back in college. If you can get the rock that many times and do that amount of damage, yeah, you did your part. So yeah, man, I'd say for Pitt, all they got to do now, Chris, is pretty much finish. If they can finish the season the right way, hell, they got a big game against Miami next week. If Pitt can do the unthinkable in taking down Miami, Chris, yeah, you got to put them back in. Who cares if they lost to Notre Dame? Notre Dame is still a good football team. Yeah, I think a lot of people were writing them off after losing to Texas A&M, but we saw what Texas A&M became.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
are a really good football team, and yeah, I think there's improvement for Pitt. There's a inroad for Pitt to showcase that hey, they can still get into this college football playoff and showcase to the nation that hey, they are one of the 12 best teams, and they just didn't have a great day against Notre Dame that day. But they can right the ship if they can win out in the right way by beating Miami and hopefully solidifying that spot into an ACC championship. So we'll see what happens, Chris. But I think this was a great win for the Panthers over the weekend in trying to make that case. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. Well, those are our two premier games, folks. So, of course, this was one of those lean weeks. But now we'll head into the other week 13 results. Of course, guys, if you're tuning in, watching the show, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what was your favorite game, play, player of the week. Of course, we're going to be talking about Chief of the Week later on in the show. But yeah, definitely, guys, chime in with us below in the comments. So, other week 13 results, Chris. We have the Kentucky Wildcats. They took on Vanderbilt in Nashville on Saturday. 45-17, Chris. It was not even close.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt put those paws. They put the paws. They put the anchor down. I mean, they anchored down right when right when they teed it up. They already knew the fate of Kentucky football.
Yeah.
As soon as the game
Yeah.
started.
Man, the Doors did what needed to be done in this one, Corey. They came in locked in. What was it, 45-17
Yeah.
is the final.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Diego Pavia was sensational. Cutter Boley had a good game for Kentucky, but it just wasn't enough. Vandy played like a team that smells how close they are to being in the college football playoff. They can taste it, and it seemed like a spot where Kentucky maybe could surprise them. Maybe Vandy would be looking ahead to Tennessee. Nope,
No,
nope,
not at
nope.
all.
Clark Lee made sure that was not the case for this Vanderbilt team, and they were ready to play ball on both sides of the ball, and just put the pause, like you said, they put a beat down on Kentucky, and so shout out to Vandy. This team has been, he had a couple losses, but for the most part, this team has played just great quality football all season long, and this has been a season for the ages. for the record books for Vanderbilt. We'll see if they can continue to write the story. That it's not over yet. We'll see if they can get a huge win against Tennessee. And what a win that would be, Corey, to beat the team that was in the playoff last year, to seal your fate as a playoff team, with them also being your in-state rival. Just a lot on the line in this matchup, but yeah, I'm already looking ahead to that one because ain't nothing to talk about with this game, Corey. Vandy put a beat down on Kentucky.
Yeah, they did on senior night as well. That's the way you should do it. On senior night, have a big day against Kentucky. But but yeah, in all seriousness, Chris, yeah, it could have been very easy for Vanderbilt to look over Kentucky heading into that Tennessee game. Now that you gotten Kentucky out the way, now they can prepare for a massive game next week against Tennessee. And hey, if they can take down the Vols, that's definitely going to solidify their playoff hopes, Chris. And one thing I wanted to kind of mention too, because we've seen everything going on with Ole Miss. It's even now more and more prevalent for Ole Miss to beat Mississippi State on Black Friday, Chris, in the Egg Bowl. Because if you have a Vanderbilt that has an opportunity to beat Tennessee, and they do, and if you lose against Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, I think you're out. Like there were people that were saying even if they had lost to Mississippi State that they would still be in. I think the
It's
margin
gonna be
of
close.
error, yeah. I think you can really chalk it up and say, hey, Vanderbilt has an opportunity to probably still get back in this thing. Because when you look at their losses, they lost to Alabama fairly close. That was a close game at the end of the day. So you have that loss, and then who else did they
Lost
lose
to
to?
Texas.
Yeah, they lost to Texas. Yeah, another game where Vanderbilt was actually marching back. You could one
If
would
they get that
say,
onside kick,
yeah,
it gets real interesting.
it gets real interesting. So yeah, I think Vanderbilt, they played the schedule that was presented to them, and they played it fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
Did they succeed in every game? No, as most teams have not this season outside of Indiana and Ohio State. But this is still a good Vanderbilt football team. And if they can finish out strong and still not have, they still won't be able to go to an SEC championship, I think that would bode well for Vanderbilt. And if you're Ole Miss, you're an Ole Miss fan, whatever happens to Lane Kiffin, I think we all kind of figure out what may be on the horizon with that whole scenario. At the end of the day, you don't want to lose your opportunity at a CFP berth outright by Vanderbilt. That's like playing hot to end the season. So the Egg Bowl is definitely an important game for Ole Miss to win. I know some people kind of, in Oxford kind of scoff at the Egg Bowl and saying like, "Hey, the Magnolia Bowl between LSU is important," but no, this is important. This is the season
Yeah.
for
No,
Ole Miss.
it's a huge game for the Rebels. Because like we mentioned before, even their seeding, regardless of them winning the game, if they do win the game, could be impacted if Lane Kiffin were to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So if you couple that with if you lose that game as well, and Lane Kiffin leaves to go to Florida or LSU in the coming week, that could bounce you out to the top to just being at 15 or so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot that can happen. So there's a lot riding on the Egg Bowl for both teams, but Vandy is in good position.
Yeah.
Vandy's in a good prime position. they just you got to brave over 100,000 fans in orange, which won't be easy, Corey. But because I'm pretty sure that game is at Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That game is. I'm checking it right now. It is indeed in
In
Knoxville.
Knoxville,
So
that's what
yeah,
I thought. Yeah, that's
Rock Top's gonna be jumping.
it's going as a tall task, man. It's not going to be easy, but if you win that game, your playoff spot is well deserved.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So hey, we'll see what happens. But I have to give my props to Vanderbilt. Great victory. By taking down Kentucky, a team that was starting to look like they were
They're on the
starting to,
upswing.
yeah,
They're
they
playing
was
good.
starting to find their stride, and Vandy said, "No, not in our home turf." So yeah, we'll see what happens with the Commodores as they take on the Tennessee Volunteers. So yeah, man, we will see. So we'll go ahead and move on, Chris, to our final additional game that we have for you guys. We have Oklahoma taking on Missouri in Norman over the weekend. 17-6 was your final in this one, Chris. Oklahoma, man, if we have to award the team that had like the most ugly wins, man, Oklahoma, they would definitely be that team, Chris. What an ugly victory this was, but hey, it's the Sooners. This is what they do. They don't win in
Yeah,
style. They make
yeah,
it hard for you.
man. Like you said, just I mean, the defense played well. we'll put it like that.
Yeah.
You know, the defense did what those guys normally do. I mean, Oklahoma's defense is legit.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the better defenses in the nation, which makes sense. Brent Venables, head coach, that's where he hangs his hat on. You know, that's where he takes his pride in is the defense. So those guys put on a great performance. Offensively, Oklahoma's leaving much to be desired. Um, John Mateer threw for less than 200 yards in this game. Corey was 14 for 30, threw for less than 50% completion percentage. Um, that's not going to cut it in the playoff. And so Oklahoma, as great as this defense has been, this offense has been putrid. And things have to get figured out today, right now, if this team wants to have any hope of being a real threat in the playoff. Because you may can beat Missouri with a performance like this. You can beat your Auburns and other teams in the conference. But when you play the better teams in the nation, 17 points is not going to go cut it and have you make a run for national championship. So a good win for the Sooners because you keep yourself in position to be an at-large team to make the playoff. But it's kind of like the Philadelphia Eagles, Corey. You know, the Eagles have been winning, but then the offense is like, hey man, Jalen Hurts, y'all have to get this together. Like I know y'all winning, but this ain't gonna win you a Super Bowl. It feels a little bit like them. Like I know you're winning games, but this ain't gonna cut it when it comes down to it, Corey.
No, you're absolutely right, Chris. Like they definitely look like Eagles personified. Like just in Norman, Oklahoma. Like it's amazing because when you watch them, Chris, and I watched them on Saturday. I know you did too. Man, this team just could not muster up enough offense to save their lives. Like imagine this Oklahoma team going up against some of the best offensively in college football. Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana.
Indiana.
Like the list goes on and on and on. Who go ahead and throw like Virginia? Like think about these teams out here that they don't have issues in scoring. All you can score is 17 points. Look, I know John Mateer is starting to kind of find himself and everything, but Oklahoma just isn't as great of a passing attack in terms of the offense as we would like. And then look, I like Satania. I like a couple of their receivers on the team. But man, it's just I don't know. The stagnation of this offense for Oklahoma, it just rears its ugly head just about every week, Chris. Win, lose, or draw. And yeah, I'm with you, brother. Like if they find themselves in a situation where they can't score against one of the high powered teams in college football in a playoff game, that's gonna be rough for any Oklahoma fan. And yeah, something has to be done like now because yeah, we're ending the season soon, and before you know it, you're gonna be out there trying to go for a national championship. You gotta do better than that.
Yeah, I mean, just keep it a buck. You might be you could beat LSU playing like you're playing. LSU just beat Western Kentucky 13-10, if I'm not mistaken, Corey.
Man.
So you can beat LSU playing like this. I'm not going to say you can't. But after that game, when it's time to be in the playoff, I don't think you're going to beat anybody playing
No.
like this. So let's see if you can get things figured out and then show some life offensively against LSU. LSU is right there, honestly, Corey, right for the beating. Like LSU is asking to get beat down. This team, it's just been a rough season. I think they're ready to pack it up. So take this as an opportunity to get your stuff together and just run it up on LSU this upcoming week.
just run it up on.
Seriously, just like get your affairs in order. Try to beat them 38-10, and feel good about yourself going into the playoff.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Because boy, yeah, you talk about Oklahoma struggling, and LSU putrid right now on offense. 13-10.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
yeah.
Whew. Oh man, at least you can say like someone like Mississippi State is like scoring, well above that each week. They may not have the best weeks out there with like a Blake Shapen or whoever, but yeah, that's just rough.
That's tough, man. It's real tough.
So yeah, man. Well, those are some of our games from week 13. It was an interesting week overall, Chris. But yeah, man, a couple other stuff we will just kind of run down some of the other highlights of week 13. Miami beating Virginia Tech 34-17. They're still handling their business late in the season. We'll see what Miami does against Pitt. Texas 52-37 again over Arkansas. Chris, Arch Manning, this man he was throwing touchdowns, he was catching touchdowns.
He threw for 329, if I'm not mistaken.
389. He was 18 for
389.
30.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Threw for 4 touchdowns. He ran for a touchdown and he caught a touchdown. It's crazy.
Had a game.
So yeah, man. Look. Hey, the game between Texas and Texas A&M, massive. Me and you have already talked about it, Chris. Ticket sales. But we're talking about ticket sales. We're talking about tickets over like $1,000. No, I think even more than that. I think I saw a ticket that was like for like 14 or 15 K. It's insane.
I know who I know who Vandy will be rooting for in that one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I think I know who they're gonna be rooting for too. Oh man, so yeah, man, yeah, just a crazy week overall. Tennessee putting a shellacking on Florida, 31-11. Florida's just like, look, man, if we don't get Lane Kiffin, we'll just we'll find someone, anyone. We just do not want to deal with this anymore. Oh man, so yeah, man, this is whole bunch of craziness. Wisconsin 27-10 over Illinois. And man, what happened to Illinois, Chris?
Yeah, man, they did fall off. That's a big win for Wisconsin.
It,
Wisconsin's starting to try to figure it out here the last month or so of the season. Last 4 games, they've looked like a much improved team, Corey.
yeah, yeah, I think so as well too. And yeah, this is a Wisconsin team that was not looking well at one point, but
They
now,
were real bad.
yeah. So yeah, they're definitely finding their way in winning some ball games. So yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward with the Badgers. And then what other games we had? Look, Colorado. I thought Colorado was going to beat Arizona State. That game was nasty. I, I watched it, and I probably wish I didn't watch it towards the end because Arizona State found a way to come back and win that ball game. I was like,
Yeah,
poor,
Utah's in
poor Dion.
a scrap with Kansas State.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, which I definitely thought Kansas State was gonna figure it out though to win that ball game. That was a big scare for Utah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
now it
yeah,
was you had upsets happen, but there were some good games out there. And if you are an Auburn fan, I think you don't think you're going to beat Alabama, but you have hope.
yeah,
There's a semblance of hope with how Deuce Knight looked. And you know what? I think we might get compete with them. And Alabama is good for playing games much tighter with teams, that they're not supposed to be in a tight game with, Corey. That is the Kalen DeBoer MO.
it's the Kalen DeBoer way. Uh, we should say. So yeah, man. I think seeing Deuce Knight play pretty well for his first start at Auburn is definitely going to bode well
Yeah.
for his confidence and bodes well for those people out there in Auburn as they get ready for the Iron Bowl. So we'll see.
And they're in the same position as it seemed like kind of like Mississippi State. Somebody has to cause some ruckus.
in one of these two games, somebody got to do something.
Somebody got to do something and keep the other potentially kick them out the playoffs.
So like what you always say, Chris, it's just like what the one great Denzel Washington always say, I'm leaving with something, all right?
Hey, I gotta leave with something.
I
So
gotta leave
hey,
it.
hey, so
Gotta leave with something.
hey, I'm gonna leave with something. Hey, so yeah. Somebody, hey, Auburn, Mississippi State, leave with something. You might not have the season you want, but at least ruin it for your arch nemesis.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, that'll definitely bring some excitement to the fan base for both Auburn and Mississippi State, two fan bases that have been time and time again on a week to week basis, Chris, disappointed.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe you can close out the regular season with a bang that way. So we'll see. We'll see, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, it was an interesting week, Chris. It wasn't like star studded in terms of premier matchups, but there were some interesting developments that came out of week 13. So hey, before we head to the final week, rivalry week, I think I'll take what week 13 gave me. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Same.
so yeah, man. Well, now, Chris, before we head out of here on today's show, a little bit of a shorter show, folks. I mean, I guess that's par for the course when you're getting closer to the end of the regular season. We got Chief of the Week for week 13, Chris. I gotta do it. Gotta give it to this young man. That's right, folks. Diego Pavia of Vanderbilt is our week 13 Chief of the Week winner. And what a day he had, Chris. We're talking about, check these stats. Yeah, he was 33 for 39, 484 yards, 5 touchdowns, did throw 1 interception, but he also did run for 1 touchdown, as he always does. 15 carries for 48 yards, ended the game with a 92.3 QBR. Just an amazing day, Chris.
He played so well. He had moms in the crowd twerking, had her dancing.
I know. Yeah, like, look, man, if you can have a big victory and still showcase the Heisman voters that you should be in New York, which I think after this game, I think he should go to New York. And your mom's is out in the crowd dancing on senior night, on your senior night, sir. Go to New York. You deserve it.
No, that's a good point. Like, who will be the people that are invited to New York this season? Because it's been a little bit of like I feel like an under the radar season when it comes to individual accolades, guys just like having big time seasons, Corey. We aren't seeing the bodacious, crazy numbers that we are kind of accustomed to, where the stories are rising of like who we know. Travis Hunter's going to New York. You know what I'm saying? Him and Ashton Janty. You know, like we knew those two would be competing. We haven't really had the player or players break out. It's not the Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart versus Vince Young kind of season. You know, we've seen our fair share of fun Heisman races. I wonder who will be the Heisman this year.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris, just because I was thinking about it earlier before we got on live. Like, who are those top 4 to 5 Heisman contenders? I think we got to go ahead and say Fernando Mendoza has been playing lights out this season. Probably next to him, if I had to say, Diego Pavia's been close around. As well. He's been playing very well too, and I think he has an opportunity to get his team into the playoff race. At that point, yeah, he got about like 2 other spots. Man,
I would have been ready to put Jeremiah Smith up there, but he sat out. Him and Carnell Tate had lower leg injuries that they sat out the Rutgers game for. I mean, you know, it sounds like a little load management for the game to me, Corey.
Look, I was watching TV earlier, and you know how Fox is always ready for that game. They're already getting you prepped. They already got the commercials up. They look, you know, you can smell it, Chris. You can smell when it's Ohio State, Michigan week. Like, you just know it. You just feel it. One of the more hostile rivalries in all of college football. I think that was strategic of Ryan Day.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's pretty interesting. I wonder if Ahmad Hardy would get a nod, an invitation.
I think he should. This guy's leading FBS in rushing yards. Like, come on.
I feel like he should too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and probably
we'll
the last person.
Out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I was gonna say one last person, Chris. I mean, maybe Ty Simpson. It was looking like Ty Simpson was definitely in there. I think if they really wanted to, they can still invite him to New York because there was a point in time we were looking at Alabama like, hey, are they even going to make it out of this schedule? And
Mm-hmm.
outside of them losing to Oklahoma, they were riding high, and a lot of that was because of him. And they still have an opportunity if they can beat Auburn. We'll see what happens. I think a lot of that will be rested on how well he's done this season, and if he can do that, that will also help him get into New York as well for the Heisman. So those are my four guys. That's really what I see right now.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's a good solid 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. So if I had to pinpoint who's gonna win, I think Fernando Mendoza is gonna win this thing. I think
so too.
I think after the Penn State game, that
that's
crazy play
moment.
Yeah, that I think that's definitely his Heisman moment. So I think it's really he is the win all the way. So we'll see, man. But overall, Chris, it was a great week of college football. Still, rivalry week is upon us. We got Michigan, Ohio State, the game. We got the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Something's got to give. Either Levy's going to um, get Mississippi State to their first bowl berth since 2022. My gosh, I can't, I can't believe I'm saying that. Or somehow Lane Kiffin's going to finish Ole Miss with beating Mississippi State. He's gonna finish his time there, and then he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do, whether it's LSU, whether it's a late game surge by Florida and getting his services. Who knows?
Or he might stay.
Or he might stay. Who knows? That's kind of being thrown around as well. So you got all of these games: Vandy, Tennessee. The list just keeps going on and on. Chris, Iron Bowl.
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Rivalry week is here, and I can't wait to go over
Florida State.
Florida State. Oh my gosh.
Miami Pitt.
Yeah. Did you hear about Norvell?
Yeah, he's sticking around.
He's sticking around.
If that's still going to be the tune as they get smacked by Florida.
So what? Crazy times down there in Tallahassee. I don't even think I want to ask either of those folks on how they're feeling. I think I've seen enough on how they're feeling. So, yeah, man. A great week of games ahead. Can't wait for us to talk about it on the show. We'll have to think of a time on when we can do a prediction show as we're kind of getting closer to Thanksgiving. So we'll definitely see what happens for you good folks out there. Maybe we'll be a little bit earlier for you guys, so we'll let y'all enjoy your Thanksgiving, and Chris and I can enjoy ours as well. So, but yeah, man, great week ahead. We'll see what happens later on this week. Before we head out of here, Chris, we got some outros. Let the good folks know where they can find you on social media.
Yes, sir. You can holler at your boy on X, or as I call it, Twitter, at Chris_Bolton_12, and on Instagram at Chris.Bolton_. Holler at your boy.
Awesome. And yeah, folks, you can find me on X at Listen to KSW. I'm on there talking college football, professional wrestling. We just had AEW Full Gear last night. It was a great show. Samoa Joe, Chris, defeated Adam Hangman Page to be the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And look, I think it's all tying to Samoa Joe retiring. I think sometime next year. He's already said that he's looking
the
at
Cena
retiring.
run.
Yes,
it's the John Cena script.
It is. Like look what John Cena has done to wrestling, Chris. Like all of these great wrestlers that we grew up watching is all of a sudden saying, "Yeah, I think it's time to hang up the boots." Like, wait a minute now. Come on now. Not so
Oh
fast.
man, I've seen this movie before. But
Yeah.
shout out to Samoa Joe though.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. A complete legend in the world of professional wrestling, indeed. So yeah, man, definitely follow me on there. But yeah, guys, we appreciate you all tapping in with Chris and I on the show. Like I said earlier, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what was your favorite game of the week. Let us know what you're excited about in rivalry week. Chris and I would love to know that as we're winding down the seasons. Last week, folks, last week of the regular season as we get ready for conference championships, playoffs, all of that, and the national championship game. So we will definitely be here talking about all of that, getting you set for some of these great games out here in the world of college football. So yeah, guys, we appreciate all your support, and we will be back hopefully sometime before Thanksgiving. Like I said, we'll figure it out, and we will definitely tap in with y'all then. But until next time, guys, I'm Corey Willis. He's Chris Bolton. You are listening to the Breakdown Sportscast. We will chat with y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.